Well, hello, my friends. It's Mendhi Audlin here, and it's What If Wednesday. And today I have a question for you. What does it mean to live a conscious lifestyle? What does that mean to you? So, I want to start with a little bit of member mail. So, thank you again to Morris Sems, who is keeping me posted of the questions that come up as he's reading the book and engaging in the community. He says, he's been surviving the very hot Texas summer. So, howdy to all my Texas friends. Fall is just around the corner. I know it's here in New York and it's beautiful. So Morris says, I just want you to know, I read your pages of your book every day. I'm kind of stuck because I want to be on non-attachment. And that's a really good one to get stuck on, right? Get stuck on non-attachment. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. He says, I think I need to remind myself of that principle constantly. In any case, not a day goes by I don't read your words. Thank you, Morris. He says his favorite quote right now: focused thought is clearly half of the equation. Yet, if we're focused on something we want and feeling the desperation of not having it, the misalignment of our thoughts and feelings will keep our dreams at bay. So that's from What If It All Goes Right. So thanks, Morris, for the shout out. It says, let me know how things are going in the What If Up world. Well, it's going great because we have people like you who are sharing and engaging and reading and applying things and asking questions. So know that anytime you have a question for a What If Wednesday brainstorm, you can put it into our What If Up community. If you're not a member of the What If Up community, go to whatifup.org and you can join, and it's free and it's fabulous. And now when you sign up to join the community, you automatically get access to our 5-day ramp up challenge, which gives you some of these core ideas around tapping into your imagination, accessing your wisdom, feeling inspired before you take action, and then stepping into non-attachment, and ultimately stepping into a reality that we love. Which brings me to the question of the day, which is, what does it mean? What if it all goes right? Like, what do you think of when you hear that question? What if it all goes right? Because I think when I first started writing the book, I was thinking that that question is really for the individual. Like, what does it look like when everything goes right for you in your life? Your health, your relationships, your spirituality, your environment, your recreation. Like, what does it look like when everything is exactly the way you could envision it to be? It's a great exercise. And for me, I've been teaching this for 20 years and my vision still continues to evolve and it continues to change. And I change my mind here and I change my mind there, and it's constantly growing and expanding in different ways. And what I've really been gravitating towards is this idea of conscious living. Like, that to me feels very fulfilling and purposeful. And it feels like the direction that humanity is heading. We've got so many challenges, and it seems like the answer to all those challenges is for us to intentionally create not just an individual best case scenario, but to create a collective best case scenario. What does it look like when you have billions of people on the planet living in harmony, living sustainably, living in a way that is creating a better world for our children and our children's children and beyond, for 7 generations? What does that look like? What is that vision? And what must we change about ourselves in this moment, the way we think, the way we feel, the way we act, so that we can live into that best case scenario? So I am going to throw out the gauntlet today and invite you to share with me, what does it look like? What does it mean to you? What if it all goes right? Like, what does that mean? What does living consciously mean to you? And I invite you to either put it into our Facebook community as a Facebook Live, just turn on your camera and just whatever comes to you is perfect. Or if you just want to think about it and post something, that's great as well. What I'd like to do is take the feedback from our community and put it together into something that I can add to our YouTube channel. So I encourage you to step into the community and ask yourself, what does it look like? What does it mean to you? What if it all goes right? I've been reading, very influenced by this book. I'm almost done with it. It's a fascinating read from John Clifton, who is the CEO of the Gallup organization. This is their latest book out called Blind Spot, The Global Rise of Unhappiness and How Leaders Have Missed It. And this studies in here the statistics in here are very eye-opening. We talk about living into your best life and living happy and living fulfilled and being purposeful. And it is shocking to me how few people in the world have that experience. And what if we could start addressing some of the core things that are creating to that sense of unhappiness and despair? And what if we could look at the things that generate happiness and well-being? And what if we could be very intentional about consciously creating that, not just for ourselves, but for our communities and beyond? Things like human connection, relationships, friendships, the friendships that we develop in small groups through the What If Up Club. That's one of the key things that leads to happiness, is those relationships with family and friends and having fun. One of the key ideas that I have pulled from this book, and this will be our What If Wednesday brainstorm. It talks about asking people how they would rate their life. Like how well are things going for you in terms of how they perceive it. On 0 to 10, how would you rate your life right now? It's a great question. How would you rate your life right now in terms of your well-being, your happiness? So they ask people that question, and then that's perception. And then they ask people questions such as, did you, in the past 24 hours, have you laughed? Have you smiled? I mean, if you ask yourself that in the past 24 hours, has there been something that's just, brought a smile to your face? Has there been something that's made you laugh? Has there been a time when you felt like in the past 24 hours where you felt like you were able to contribute to the world in a way that was really using your gifts, the things that really build, that bring us fulfillment and joy? Have you experienced that in the past 24 hours? And they compare how people perceive their life and some of the behaviors that tend to indicate well-being. So I'm going to pose that question to you today. And what if today you intentionally, consciously look for the things that make you smile? What if today, intentionally, consciously, you notice the things that make you laugh, the things that bring you joy? I got this balance ball in my office. So I'll show you what I sit on. This is why I bounce now. See this balance ball? So this is what I'm sitting on now in my office. And I found that when my daughter comes home from school, she loves to take over and bounce on it and try to balance. And we cracking up yesterday. Little things. What are the things that bring you joy? Maybe it's sitting on the bouncy ball, and maybe it's watching someone trying to balance on it. What is it? Maybe it's something that somebody said to you. Post it in the comments. What brings you joy? What makes you smile? And what are the things that you've experienced in the past 24 hours that have filled you with a sense of purpose, that have felt like your gifts were getting a place to express themselves? And what if we look for more and more opportunities to do just that? And what if that's the beginning? So there's so many things that we can do to create positive change in our lives, in our community, and in the world. That's where we're focusing. That's where we're going. That's what we're doing with our What If Up Club. And I'm so thrilled to have you as a part of it. Again, if you haven't joined yet, go to whatifup.org and sign up today. And for those of you that are in the community, popping into the group to get your ideas. What do you think? What does conscious living mean to you? So thanks for joining me for this What If Wednesday. I am not going to be here next Wednesday because I'm going to be on a mastermind retreat with my small group, What If Upping, with some of my favorite people in the world. So I will miss you next Wednesday, but I will, I'll pre-record something so that we can stay connected that way. And then I'll be back and have all kinds of wonderful things to share. So have a wonderful week, friends. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.